What is going down, you guys? This is Sean Casilli with Bay Real Experts, Coldwell Banker Realty in Panama City Beach, Florida. Check the date on this video, but things are kind of slow right now, so we're working from home, working from the office here and there, but we're not allowing any of the public. That would mean our buyers and sellers are not allowed inside of our office building right now. So in our downtime, I just thought I'd make a video here about who we are. What is a real estate agent? What does a real estate agent do for you? If you're thinking about selling your home yourself, why would you need a real estate agent? So if you're looking for a real estate agency, or you just want to know a little bit more about us, this might be the video for you. So go ahead and grab some popcorn because I'm just going to jibber jab for a while. I want to talk about 10 key points. There's really an almost limitless number of things that a realtor or a real estate agent can do for you when helping you buy or sell property. And I'm really sorry about this autofocus thing. I've tried to push the screen here to lock it in place, and hey, okay, I guess you have to do that while it's recording. Moving on. Pre-listing activities is the first point that I want to talk about. That covers everything from doing a responsible comparative market analysis on your property, not just driving by it, but doing a walkthrough of the property, going and digging up all of the property information on public record, verifying the legal owners and who has the right to sell it, seeing the recent properties that have sold in the area and providing the seller with that data so that they can make an informed decision about the sale price of their property, seeing as how it compares to those properties that recently sold, whether it's location, condition, age of the property. Let me see here what else I had in my notes that I wanted to cover during this pre-listing activities. Yes, a huge one. We have to verify the property's legal description, and also we liked in Panama City Beach to, as real estate agents, we want to verify the zoning, because it's not like there's a clear line of, okay, this is Bay County unincorporated and this is Panama City Beach city limits. I know I'm not supposed to be touching my face because we got coronavirus in the air. But anyways, with zoning, there's a couple things involved here. You are potentially going to be able to sell to not just primary residence owners, but you could also market your property to investors if you have the right zoning. If you have a commercial property, it's going to be worth even more. There are some mixed use areas. If you are looking to put a manufactured home on the property, you have to make sure it's zoned properly for that. That goes for if you're a buyer, but if you were a seller, maybe somebody else might want to have the opportunity to change the use of the property. So that's another important step. The second thing or category that I wanted to cover is the listing appointment presentation. And as a seller, you're probably not going to want to, or you're probably not going to care so much, because it's really about a real estate agent proving their value and what they can do for you. So you don't probably care how much time and effort goes into the pre-listing and the actual listing presentation. You just are going to want to see what is brought there. But that does have a lot of pieces that are unique for each and every property, and it needs to be tailored. It's just not, it shouldn't be a listing presentation that goes something like this. Hey, my name is Sean Casilli, and I'm going to put a sign in the yard, and I'm going to pray for a buyer to come along and put it in the MLS. There's a whole lot more that a full-time and full service listing agents should do for you. And we'll jump into some of that. That's the fourth point I wanted to cover. So if we do list your property for you, we're going to enter it in the multiple listing service. There are lots of fields that maybe some people would ignore, but there are buyers out there with very specific qualifications for the property that they're looking for. And we go through, as your real estate agent, we would go through each and every field available in the MLS and see if it was a yes, no, a maybe, as describing your property. For example, if someone comes to me and says, Sean, as my real estate agent, I need you to go out there and find me a 2-story home that is waterfront, and I need it to have 0.5 to 1 acres of land. Let's see. Oh, and I need it to be in Panama City Beach. And I want it to have 3 bedrooms or more and 2 bedrooms. But the master bedroom has to be at least 16 by 20. You're getting the idea here. Those are the basic ones, but there are multiple things that are drilled down, whether it's pool, sprinkler system, AC. Is the AC unit a high efficiency one? Is there solar panels? All these things that if that checkbox is missing from somebody that is not a full service listing agent, as a real estate agent, you might end up with just a picture, an address, and a price. And it'll be, hey, that's another 3 Ps. The next thing that we're going to talk about is marketing of the listing. There is so much, you guys, that I take pride in, and really our whole team takes pride in when it comes to marketing a listing as a professional real estate agent. This is probably not going to show up so good on this cell phone camera, but this is an example of some of our marketing that we would do. And this is a trifold. This is a multiple property announcement that we would send out. We actually send property announcements like this one. We do professional photography. We do property announcements to the subdivision in which you live, but we also have our own network of buyers that we make property announcements to, whether it's in print form, in email, on our websites. In fact, Coldwell Banker is who we're affiliated with, and they syndicate property announcements to over 900 websites. But we, with Bay Real Experts, our team of real estate agents with Coldwell Banker, we do a whole lot more. We do professional photos, always. Doesn't matter the price point. Aerial drone photography and video on every price point. It doesn't matter. It could be mobile home to million plus. We do all of that. We also do 360 tours for every property listing and every price point. We also have something that Coldwell Banker through our listing concierge program puts out. And this is an example of this magazine called The View. And it is sent out to people that are interested in real estate and are thinking about buying or selling property. And that goes out to everyone in Florida that is interested. It's highly targeted. One other thing I wanted to show you that comes along with our listing concierge. Where is it here? There's a whole bunch of stuff here. You may have gotten one of these in the mail already, but let me just roll over the things that we haven't covered yet. Single property website, just listed e-flyer. That kind of goes hand in hand with the e-announcements. Property tours. Now, I'm not going to badmouth anybody right now, but a lot of times I see virtual tours, even some done by the company, that are just slideshows. To me, I know that by the industry standard that is a virtual tour, but To me, a virtual tour is either a walkthrough video, which we also do, and 360 virtual tours, where you have the points where you can click through and walk through the house, and you can control the screen, whether it's by moving your phone or by clicking on different points and then dragging the picture around so you can see all through the home. We covered print advertising, we covered professional photography, we go way above and beyond on that. TV and online promotion. Even though it is a slideshow, with listing concierge through Coldwell Banker, us as real estate agents affiliated with them, we do get 20 or 30-second spots on the CW, and it will show your property during that program. We do property brochures, already covered that. We do an area realtor notification through the listing concierge, so when your listing goes live, a notification goes out to all the local realtors. Not just with Coldwell Banker, not just with our office, but every realtor in Bay County. With the property announcements, we like to do the silver envelope that takes in a mailer like this. And, you know, if you get a postcard like this, you go, oh yeah, another real estate postcard. But if it comes in a silver envelope, we've found that people tend to open those a bit more, so we do that. And we do targeted online advertising. Yes, Listing Concierge does that, but if you've seen one of my ads before and you're thinking about buying or selling real estate, then maybe that's a good proving point of how we do targeted ads. Online property syndication, we talked about that already. Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia. That also happens on the back end. I already mentioned the 900 plus websites. And we give you a seller update. There's an automated one that goes out via email with our listing concierge, program. But we are always here for a phone call to you weekly, maybe daily, depending on the need. But we will stay in constant communication. I know that's the number one gripe out there. I shouldn't say gripe. It's a legitimate concern that real estate agents have a bad reputation for being poor communicators. But I promise you that you will always be able to reach one of my team members if you have a concern, whether it's by returning your call if all three of us are on the phone at the time, or returning a text message. We will communicate with you same day, guaranteed. The next point, the offer and the contract. We're still in a seller's market, but we don't really know what's going to be happening in the near future with the coronavirus. So far, what we're seeing is everyone's kind of hit the pause button. Buyers, sellers, some of the top agents in my office, they have no pipeline right now. All of their buyer leads are saying we're going to hold off and see what's happening. Sellers have pulled their homes off the market because there's a lot of uncertainty right now. But in a normal situation, whether it's a buyer's or a seller's market, your real estate agent is going to be preparing offers if you have a listing, and they're going to be preparing those reviewing the contracts or countering the contracts. We will be presenting contracts to you. If somebody's interested in purchasing your property, we will be preparing your contract or your offer if you are interested in purchasing a property. There's 12 pages on just our standard as-is contract, and there is a slew of writers that we can attach to it depending on the need of your specific situation. Getting a little hoarse here. I know it's sexy, but it hurts. Give me a second. I got to shout out Amber. No, I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I just love having my tea or coffee stay at a consistent 130 degrees. So if you're into that sort of thing, hey, I know the coronavirus, one of the tips I was given was to consume hot liquids all day. That will if the virus is in your mouth, it will help push it down, clear mucus, and get it down into the stomach where the virus can be destroyed. So, hey, another reason to have a hot drink in your hand at all times. Go Amber. Where was I? Oh, yes. Contracts and offers. If there is multiple offers on a property and I am your real estate agent listing your house, we've had as many as I think 16 come in on one property. We have to review all 12 pages of every contract and then digest that and then deliver those terms to you to see if they're acceptable for you, see what terms you do like, which ones you want to counter. And it's not just about price, folks. It gets really complicated. You could have terms in there where maybe somebody is using a certain financing program, and if you're not very familiar with the different programs out there, you won't know if it's a good finance offer. Let's say you have a short time frame that you need to sell, and the lender and the pre-qual letter that comes in, we know the ones that take 45 days. We know the ones that take 60 days. We know the ones that take 20 days. We know the ones that can close as quick as 12 days. If it's cash, well, that's an easy one. You can close as soon as the title company has done the search and issued a policy of title insurance policy on it. So if you're thinking about selling a property yourself, and your house is special, I know, mine was too when I was selling it, and everyone's going to want to jump on it, right? Well, do you want to deal with 16 12-page contracts to make sure you're not missing anything, or would you rather use a professional that does that every day? And speaking of loan products, your real estate agent is going to check on the loan process. We need to make sure that just because you got a pre-qualification letter, there are certain things that need to happen from the lender's side, and we need to make sure that they're on top of it. So we will follow up with the lender weekly, or sometimes more if needed, to make sure that they're moving the file along with the buyer, whether that's your file as the buyer or as the seller. Your listing agent, your real estate agent, should be following up with the buyer's lender to make sure that they're not letting that buyer's file slip through the cracks, whether that has to do with an inspection, an appraisal, and reviewing anything that might need to be put on an addendum because of those things. Maybe some modification to the contract because it falls outside of certain guidelines for a specific loan product. All of that will be handled by your real estate agent. A point we just touched on: home inspections and appraisals. Your real estate agent will help coordinate access to the property, but will also recommend to you several good home inspectors that are licensed for that. And you're going to want to have someone review those points with you to see if a property needs repair. You're going to need to decide if you're going to walk away, make sure that you're within your right to walk away time period. And if there's some repairs that need to be negotiated, that all needs to be done through your real estate agent. If there's an appraisal that needs to be done on the property, which is a good fair share, I would estimate about 80% of the pending deals that happen, you're going to need to have an appraisal because financing is involved. The only time you don't need an appraisal, for sure, it's going to be with cash. There are some outliers that I haven't seen, if at all. They're not very common, where the lender has an automated value that they will accept, and you'll have to talk to your lender to see if the property that you're considering purchasing or selling may qualify for that with the specific loan product that is being worked up in the file. No, it's not Rona. I just never talk this much. I've been talking 20 minutes straight. Okay, closing preparations and duties. Your real estate agent Okay, one of the last points, closing preparations and duties. This involves just more than just organizing a time for you to go to see a closing agent and close on your property, making sure that you have the wire instructions and that you don't send them to the wrong place. Your real estate agent is going to be, if applicable, researching all the taxes on the property. If there's an HOA, is an estoppel ordered for the HOA? Do you need to be registered as a new member with the HOA? Is there a new buyer fee in the community in which you are moving to if you're a buyer? What else? If there was a home warranty, was it ordered? There's a lot of moving pieces just when it comes time to getting down to closing, but I did touch on it already, but one major thing is there's a lot of wire fraud going on around here. So if you're a buyer and the closing agent initially gives you wire instructions, 99.9999999 times, those wire instructions are not going to change. So if you get an email supposedly from me or from someone on the team or from our broker or even from your closing agent that says, I need you to change the wire instructions to this, and the amount is now a little bit less, but it's pretty darn close to the original amount, it's probably a scam. So best to pick up the phone and verify the wire instructions with your closer. And I can put you in touch with your closer if we're doing a deal together and you don't have their contact information. But it's always best to get the wire instructions from the person that is accepting the wire, not from your real estate agent, not from their broker, and definitely not from somebody trying to scam you out of money. So there's a phrase that I like to tell our customers when we're wrapping up a closing. We leave the closing table, we take your picture and everybody's smiling, hopefully, and happy, and you get your keys. Just because our transaction is finished and we, as your real estate agent, help facilitate you from beginning all the way to either home selling or home purchasing, that doesn't mean that this is done. We are always here to help you with any questions after your closing, whether it relates to your home warranty or some clarification that might have to be having trouble getting hold of the HOA, wherever you're at. These are a lot of buyer concerns, but there potentially could be some from a seller side as well. We like to maintain our relationships with our customers. We're not just your real estate agent. We want you to become part of our community, part of our family, part of being friends with us. So I'm going to have to cut this video. I wanted to talk a little bit more about some of those things, but my voice is trashed. I hope that you guys learned a little bit more about what a real estate agent can do for you. If you're thinking about selling a property yourself, I got close to 200 other things that I could tell you that we do, but I covered the main points in 10 points. We had pre-listing activities, listing appointment, and our presentation that we have to prepare for. Those things probably don't matter to you as much, but it does take our time, and nobody likes to work for free, but it is part of it. I know there's some businesses that go out and do estimates and they get maybe 60-70% of them. It does take people's time. So that is a service that we provide for free to give you a CMA or a comparative market analysis of your property. But skipping past those two, let's say we do get your listing. We have entering it into the MLS with all those unique fields to make your property stand out for somebody who is looking for exactly what you are selling. There's the marketing of the listing through everything that we showed you. There is negotiating offers and preparing contracts, preparing offers, digesting those huge contracts and making it understandable to somebody who's not used to looking at them every day. We track the loan process. It doesn't matter if you're on the selling side or the buyer side, we stay on top of the lenders to make sure that they are moving the file along. Home inspections, appraisals, we coordinate all of that. Didn't really touch on this, but even on appraisals, we will prepare a little packet to try and show an appraiser what our research has been. We're not trying to influence them in any way, but we're trying to make their job a little bit easier. They're busy people too. So if we prepare a lot of this paperwork that they're going to need to gather themselves, even if it's just a screenshot from the property appraiser or the legal description of your property, those are things that they're going to need when they're doing their appraisal anyways, and we help them out with that. And we'll leave it behind at the property to let them know that it's available for them should they choose to use it. I said it was going to stop, right? But we're recapping. Closing preparations and duties and follow-up after closing. And with that, you guys, if you ever need anything from us, please Google us, Bay Real Experts. You can also find our contact information below. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and I will see you on the next one. This has been all about real estate agents. Talk to you on the next one. This has been Sean Casilli with Bay Real Experts, Coldwell Realty in Panama City Beach, Florida.